I'm joined by Charlie and Kathy Vorisek.
Hello, Park.
Hello, Kathy. Hello,
Yep,
Charlie.
Good to see you here at the farm show.
Thank you very much for having us. So, Charlie and Kathy, how did you get involved with honey production?
Well, that started actually back in '92 and started as our daughter's FFA project. So neither of us had done beekeeping before that. She wanted to be an FFA, and so we learned together. And we had two daughters that did it as an ag project, and eventually I bought that from them when they were done with it. And I thought I'd do it when I retired, and then I got laid off, and then I decided I would just try to do it full time. So here we are.
Wonderful. So, where is your business specifically located?
So we're in Linesville, Pennsylvania, in Crawford County, just a couple miles north of Linesville. We run about 200 colonies. This year we produced about 16,000 pounds of honey. It all goes locally. We don't do a lot of wholesale. We do a lot of retail, but it's all marketed just in the Northwest region.
Excellent. So, how can folks buy your honey?
We have some outlets. Besides, we have a roadside stand at our house, and we sell at the Meadville Market House. We have Livingston's Packing, Vicacci's. Where else do we have them?
Al's Melons. We have a lot of bees at Al's Melons. We're up in Cambridge Springs. We're at several different local venues in Greenville, different places like that. So we get around and we sell out.
Actually, at Al's, just as a caveat, it's under his label, but it's our honey for now.
And you do have honey here at the farm show.
Yes.
Excellent. Not just for display, but also for sale.
For sale. We have a
Very
marketplace at the farm show that goes through the state association.
Okay.
So we wholesale our honey to the state, and we retail it from across the state, and that funding goes for the promotions program, which sends the Pennsylvania Honey Queen all over the state.
Now, can you explain to folks what the steps would be to produce honey? A couple of the basic
Well,
steps.
the basic steps is you need to learn about beekeeping, and we have to be registered with the state because there's health issues with honeybees and bee health. So you have to register with the state and have a business. You don't necessarily, if you're only selling it out of your back door, you're local, you don't need to be registered for food safety, but you can't go out to a market and sell it secondhand. But it's quite involved. Most people don't have enough hives to make a surplus to sell on a regular basis.
Now, has the decrease in the bee population impacted your production?
Yes, and it's one of those things that I had to learn how to figure out how I was going to manage that. And we routinely lose about 50% of our bees over the winter, and I have to manage. I have to set money aside. I'll spend $10,000 in the spring replacing bees.
What specifically is there multiple issues there, or I understand mites are one of the things that can cause a colony collapse, or there's some other?
Yeah, mites are still the biggest single issue we deal with. Generally, when I go back and I monitor my hives a lot for mites, and that's always seems to come to the top. There is some anecdotal evidence that in combination with pesticides or herbicides, that doesn't directly kill the bees, but it can hamper their ability to deal with the varroa mite.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much. And before we go, if Kathy, would you just take one moment to talk a little bit about the education that you do?
The education, well, what I do when I'm up here, when I'm down here, we talk about the bees. We have an ag program that we do. It's a map, and you are required to go around the fairgrounds and the farm show and collect different maps and find out different things. So when the kids come to me, they tell me something they know, and I can expand on it. Like honeybees fly. They fly 15 miles an hour, 13 to 15. They fly 3 to 6 miles round trip, and we also do 6 to 9 trips a day. A
Excellent.
honeybee will actually fly her wings off, and that's why honeybees in the summertime only live 3 to 6 weeks. A honeybee makes 1/12 of a teaspoon of honey in her entire lifetime.
Very, very good. Well,
And just we're standing in front of our Northwest Pennsylvania display, which also highlights children in our future with honeybees. So that was the theme that was from our region. So
sure, I see Lionsville, Vernon Township, Emlenton, Meadville.
yeah, yeah.
Wonderful. And you are the president
President of
of the
Northwest
Northwest PA Beekeepers Association.
Yes.
Well, thank you very much.